Help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content. Hey, in this video, me and JP are going to talk about one of the silliest silly season reports to have come out about the offseason so far. This is the clip we're referring to from Bruce Dredden, his report here. Let's play the clip.
Get ready for this one. I got a pretty darn good source within the Browns organization. Couple. I heard since our last show that part of the reason Myles Garrett was so willing to sign this extension for contract, money. The Browns are negotiating as we speak with the Dallas Cowboys for a trade for Dak Prescott. And Garrett got all giddy about it. Why, I don't know. We're not going anywhere with Prescott, even if they pull it off. Newsom's part of it, and draft picks. Now, Prescott has a hamstring injury as we speak, and he may not be ready for the start of training camp. But this comes from a couple of different sources. And take it for what it's worth. If it does come about, remember where you heard it first.
So that's what we're reacting to. I wanted to throw that in here before we start the actual video itself so you guys can have a reference point of what we're talking about. Just so y'all know, I'm coming from the future on this intro. This has already been widely debunked. And this is more of a conversation about how you can break down if something like this is pure nonsense with me and JP. But let's jump into the video. All right. Well, we're going to talk about the draft in another video with JP. But this one, we were getting ready to record and this thing popped across our desk. And it is equal parts silly, unbelievable, but like weird that it's even out right now. This idea of the Browns trading for Dak Prescott. I am just going to say this out here right up front so we don't even, I think this is Looney Tunes. I think this is crazy, and I don't think it's going to happen. But JP, what were your initial thoughts when you saw that?
We have to turn off the Xbox in the offseason. We got to turn off the PlayStation. It should be legally mandated by EA. You cannot turn on forced trade in the offseason because everybody going to start thinking they can do stuff like this. What do you mean trading for Dak Prescott? What are we doing here? Do you know how much money that would cost?
For why both would you? Sides you too, already,
right? You're already paying a number 4 who's got like $230 million guaranteed. You want another one?
Yeah, I just find this so hard to believe on so many different levels because I think you pointed it out before we recorded. It's like $150 million left on the books for Dak Prescott if you trade him. So what was Russ's dead cap number when Denver took that bite? Was it like 85 and that was the highest number of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not eating 120 plus. Dak's not amazing, but Dak ain't that bad. Russ was bad and they decided to let it go. Dak's still right? I don't get what the benefit is for the Cowboys to do that. I think you also mentioned that Dak has a no trade clause. So yes. Why would he waive it to come to Cleveland in a situation where Cleveland, offensively speaking, not as built as Dallas is? And in a much tougher situation, even if the Browns were good, you're still in the AFC and you're in the AFC North versus being in the NFC where it's Dak still is what, I would guess one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFC still.
Yes.
Where you go to the AFC, dog, is he even 9? There's Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, easy clears. Lamar, easy clear. Justin Herbert, easy clear. Right. CJ Stroud, are we giving him the clear? I would give him the clear.
I would because of the youth, but I still think Dak Prescott is really good. Like he's a very good player, but he's also coming up on the wrong side of 30, coming off a bad injury.
I
So
would I would give it a clear. But let's see who else is there. We said Joe Burrow, right?
yeah,
Trevor Lawrence. Are we giving
I
him a
think
clear?
I think he's better than Trevor.
Okay, so you got better than Trevor. Who else is in the AFC? Did we miss anybody? Drake May's not there yet. He's better than Justin Fields.
He's
He's better than Tua.
Better than Tua. He's better than Nick. He's
By
better
the way,
than
Tua.
Oh.
Shout out to Tua because Tua has become the new Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
But what were you about to say?
Is he better than Geno Smith?
Okay, he is in the AFC.
I think
he's
that's
better
where
than
he's.
Geno.
I think that's where
track record. I give him the track record.
That it's a razor thin margin though.
If we're judging level of play as of now, just like we're throwing out everything they've done before, I think there's an argument you could put Geno ahead of him, but it's close.
It's close.
There's not as far of a difference there as some people might think, given the profile Dak. But if we are rolling in like, hey, Dak does have like 7 years of like very productive play where Geno just does not have that behind him. And he's younger than Geno, I would have to imagine, because he was, 2015 draft? Geno was 20.
He's 3 years younger.
Yeah, 20. Was Geno 2013 draft?
He was 2013.
Was he old in 2013?
I think so.
Oh, Dak was super young, though. Dak was like 20, 21. So that's why, okay. And Geno was, I think he was a true senior or something like that. But yeah, I think once you get down to Geno, you're probably like in that same tier, because that's probably where you'll probably rank him above Geno in the NFC, right? It'd be tight.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I have a hard time buying it that this would even happen, because like the benefit, and I love to always look at it from just not, does it benefit the Browns, does it benefit them? The benefit for Dak just doesn't seem like it's there. I don't know what could be in that trade for Dallas to want to do it. But like, this was something that was floated around when like Myles Garrett didn't have a contract, but Myles has an extension. They have made, unless like they have done a complete 180 on trading Myles Garrett, which if you listen to Bruce Drennan, he says that Myles Garrett being excited is a huge part of this. So they're not trading Myles. Would Dallas go do this for the number 2 pick? Like, what?
What would you have to attach to Dak to make you take on the contract, though?
For the Browns?
Yeah. Would in this scenario, are you trading Deshaun to the Cowboys to get the contracts to kind of balance out? But does Dallas even want to do that?
Because like, if you're Dallas, you're eating like $200 million in cash.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just don't think it makes sense for anybody. And we're living in fantasy land.
There's no way it makes sense for the Browns. There's no way it makes sense for Dallas. Like, I'm trying to figure out a way for this to make sense. It's also like Bruce Drennan, for those of you who don't know, and I don't want to be disrespectful to, he's a longtime Cleveland media legend, but Bruce Drennan, not the most reliable source of information I've ever heard of. Like, this is up there. I would call it below the Tony Rizzo has a source tier of information. This is like lower than like a Filipponi source. For those of you not in Cleveland that want to know, like, well, what's actually going on here. This is Filipponi level phony, right? Where it's like, what? Like, I didn't know Bruce still had a show, right? Like, I remember watching him on Sports Time Ohio back in the day, and he was primarily a Cavs, baseball guy back in the day. That's really what he focused on. The fact that he would have the scoop would be shocking, nonetheless. And then the trade, nothing about this makes sense. Like we are trying to work this out, right? Like me and JP have been trying to longer than what's been recorded on this video. We've spent the last 30 minutes just like, how does this even work if it would happen? I can't find a logical pathway for this to work, because why would Dallas do it? Are they going to get a bunch of draft picks? Do they want to take a quarterback? Like, are they going to go $200 million in debt to draft Shador Sanders, who at best could be Dak Prescott?
Like, that's the question that you're asking, is why would you trade Dak Prescott after already paying him that much money? And then it just doesn't make a lot of sense for anybody. It feels like the numbers don't add up and the logic for the Cowboys isn't there. Why are you entering yourself in a QB race, in a QB class that just overall isn't that good? Especially with a team and an owner that probably wants to win within the next 5 years.
Hypothetical question, though. Let's say the Browns had the number 1 overall pick, and JP, the number 1 overall pick that year, was somebody we discussed before this show. It was Andrew Luck.
I honestly think that if it was Andrew Luck, then yeah, I would trade.
I don't even know if you would go Cam Newton for the price that you have to. This doesn't make sense for even Cam Newton or I don't know. This is a weird rumor that's out. It's such a weird rumor that I have to treat it, no disrespect to Bruce Drennan, like bullshit. Because I mean, you gotta sniff around, right? Like, is it not saying he has bad sourcing, but hey, man, we all get fooled, right? We all read too much into vagueness. You've talked to scouts and general managers and people before. They love to be vague. They love to put puzzle pieces out there, right? Sometimes they like fucking with people, right? And you get got, right? Because there's always a beef there with the people in the operations and people in the media. So I don't know about that one, man. There's nothing about it that makes me take it seriously. Other than like it's getting amplified on Twitter a lot. But I expect to see the Josina subtweet about this soon, or the spicy Ian Rappaport. Don't know why that came out at the end of confirming that this is not something that the Cowboys are looking to do. This doesn't even feel like it would come out of Cleveland.
No, like why?
It's just like some kind of like way that Jerry can cry broke so he doesn't have to give Micah like 45 or whatever Micah's asking for right now. This feels like some Cowboy shit that just got sprayed on us, right? Like it got nothing to do with Cleveland. I'm gonna be honest.
You just got the Browns got caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, that happened at the combine where everyone's like, the Browns are trading up, and it was like, no, they're not. What are people talking about? Yeah. Oh, you see, they're going to trade up before March. No, they're not. What are you talking about?
Leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah. This feels like, and look, the Browns are in this situation because nationally, especially, the picture of them is of a team that would do anything because they traded for Deshaun Watson. And whenever you need to have somebody try to believe some goofy bullshit, you're going to throw the Browns out there because not a lot of critical thinking is going to go down for people outside of Cleveland who not followed this regime, right? They're going to go, it sounds like something Cleveland would do, right? Yeah, and they're going to take it seriously.
It's just the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns would do something like that, right? That sounds very Browns. It just doesn't take much critical. But if you said the Patriots the Patriots have Drake May. Who would, if you said that the Steelers were going to do this same move, there would be all the antennas would be like, that's not something Pittsburgh would ever do, right? That doesn't make sense. No. And it's like
it's unfortunate because ever since the Deshaun trade, it's like, yeah, the Browns would do something stupid like that. When it's not, it's like maybe this was just a one-time thing and they fucked up bad on that one-time thing, but that doesn't mean they're going to go and try and do it again.
Yeah. And like the track record with Andrew Berry is like significantly closer to what Pittsburgh would do and Baltimore would do than like a wild John Dorsey swing at quarterback, right? Like or you know, some of these other Maverick GMs, right? Like they kind of just do whatever, right? Is it John Snyder out there in Seattle, right? That decided to just blow it all up.
Like, you know, it's just fine. We'll casually blow it up.
This isn't something I think the Browns would do, but I do think this is something Jerry would float out or somebody in Dallas would float out just to see what happens. And hey, man, if you want to throw some bullshit out there, you want the people to believe it like across the board, people will believe. It's like with the NBA. You just throw the Clippers in there. It's like, okay, yeah, the Clippers might do something like that. I'm sure you've dealt with it with the Jaguars just being thrown in shit.
Yes.
Well,
the Jaguars don't get thrown in shit when it comes to trades. It's more just like, oh, the Jaguars assigned somebody stupid like that.
Yeah. Or the Jaguars, I've heard like, oh, maybe they'll trade us Trevor Lawrence. Why would they do that? They're the Jaguars, right? Like, it's kind of one of those things.
It's just like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. But I see what you're saying, and it feels like for this Browns regime and the Browns team, being quiet benefits them a whole lot more. Because it feels like nobody truly knows what the Browns are going to do with the second overall pick. Like, yeah, they could take a quarterback, but they're also in a great spot to take the best player available if the Titans do indeed take Cam Ward. From there, like, you have the rest of the draft in your hands.
Yeah, and I think that's why New York panic signed Russ, right? Like was like, okay, well, we don't know if Cleveland's going to take Shador, right? I don't even know if Shador is the guy that they want in New York, right? Like the Giants are good for a surprise, right? The Giants, remember, everybody thought Dwayne Haskins was a Giant, and then they hit us over the head with Daniel Jones, right?
Like, okay.
Yeah. So, like, just when you think you know what the Giants are going to do, like, they are a pretty unpredictable bunch over there. And I think them having, like, those two quarterbacks under contract, that's going to be a tough sell to bring a third guy you draft in the first round into, right? Like, you can do it if you want to, but, like, you're not paying Jameis 12 over 2. Well, yeah, 12 in between 2 years to be inactive on game days? Because it's, 6 a year with it, and then, like, more with incentives?
The way that it's structured, it feels like he's more of a long-term backup mentor for whoever's going to be the quarterback that they pick at 3. Russ is they're gonna try and do whatever they can with Russ this first year. It's not gonna work, so they're gonna play the young guy if they pick a quarterback. But this just feels like insurance just in case the Browns take a quarterback at 2.
All right. Well, that's the topic of that going to the Browns.